Okay, today we're going to talk about 8.1 circles and circumference notes. Alright, so of a circle, the radius is a line or the distance between the center of the circle to any point on your circle. So that's a radius, or you can take the center to this side, which would be the radius, any point on the circle. So the center of the circle to any point on the circle is called the radius. Now we have the diameter. The diameter is any point that it has to go through the center of the circle. It goes from one side to the other side, so it goes all the way through. So technically, your diameter is equal to two radiuses, because this is one radius here, and this is one radius here. So diameter is equal to two radius. So your radius is going to be equal to half a diameter. So it's half the diameter, or radius is equal to diameter divided by 2, because it's only half of the distance. Okay? Then there's circumference. Circumference is the distance around the circle. So it's like the perimeter for circle. The perimeter of circle is just going around the circle, okay? So the circumference can be written or found by taking your diameter times pi. Or another way of thinking of this is circle is equal to 2 pi r. Either one works, diameter times pi or 2 pi r. Okay, let's go ahead and start some notes and try. Find the diameter of the circle. So the diameter is two of these, right, put together. So diameter is equal to 9 times 2. So diameter times 2. So my diameter would be 18 inches. It's double that side. Okay, here we have the diameter is 12, so diameter equals 12, but we want to find the radius. The radius is only half of that, so I'm going to take 12 divided by 2, which gives me 6 inches, so my radius is 6 inches. Okay, moving on to circumference, remember our little formula, so circumference equals 2 pi r, so circumference equals 2 pi r, so my circumference is equal to 2 times pi, and then my radius, which would be 10, right, because diameter is all the way across, would be 20, so radius would be 10. Okay, so there's exact and there's approximate. So exact would be 2 times 10, which is 20, pi, and then centimeters. Oh, not squared, because this is an area, sorry. So this is my exact, this is equals. This is my exact answer. Okay, exact. To get my approximate, so my approximate, meaning that's not exact, because pi goes on forever. It's 3.1415, and then it keeps going. And so to get the approximate, you're going to take 20 multiplied by 3.14, which is what it says to use 3.14 in your calculator. So 20 times 3.14, which ends up giving you 62.8, and this would be centimeters. This is my approximate. My approximate usually has the squiggly lines because it's not exactly that, but it's rounded. Okay, the reason this is called the approximate is because it's rounded. This is exact because it's not rounded. Okay, here, so circumference is again equal to 2 pi r. They already gave you the radius, which is halfway across, so now I have 2 times pi times 14. So I'm going to do 14 times 2, which is 28 pi, and then inches, right? This is my exact. Now my approximate, I'm going to actually type in my calculator 28 times 3.14, which gives you 87.92, and this is inches, so that would be your approximate answer. Okay, moving on, number 5, again, circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Okay, so radius would be half of that because that's the diameter, so it would be 4, so 2 pi times 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and so 8 pi feet would be my exact. My approximate, I'm going to take 8 times 3.14, which gives me 25.12 feet. Okay, so that's my exact, that's my approximate. Alright, so now we're finding the perimeter of a semicircle. That's where it gets a little bit more confusing. So this length right here is only half that circle, right? It's not the full way around, it's only half. So you have to first find the circumference, which this is your diameter, right? So I need to find my radius of that circle because I could complete the circle and make it a full circle. Okay, so my radius, so 2 pi r, right? So 2 pi times half of my diameter, so half would be 2.5. And it's only half that section, so I'm going to divide by 2. So when I do that, I get 2.5 pi. Okay, but are you done? So I just found this region right here. I just found this. Is that the full perimeter of that? No, you have to also add this in. So I'm going to do 2.5 times pi, 2.5 times 3.14, which gives me, 7.85, and then I have to add that 5 inches also because I have to finish that circle. So 7.85 plus 5 gives you 12.85 inches, and that would be your perimeter of that semicircle. Okay, number 7, okay, same thing, it's half the circle, so we're going to first find this length here. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r, so 21 divided by 2 because it's half of that, so 10.5 divided by 2. So I'm going to get the circumference is, so this area right here, or this length, is 10.5 pi, which let's go ahead and do 10.5 times 3.14 to get pi, to get the approximate, which is approximately 32.97. But then we have to also add this length here because it's not the full perimeter. I recommend drawing it and making sure you get all the sides. So then if I add 21, I get 53.97 feet as my answer. Okay? Alright, moving on to the word problem. A simple impact crater on the moon has a diameter of 15 kilometers. A complex impact crater has a radius of 30 kilometers. How much greater is the circumference of the compact impact crater than the simple impact crater? So we got to find the circumference of both. So the circumference is 2 pi r, right? So 2 pi. So I'm going to do this as my simple and this is my complex. Okay? So it's 2 pi r, which on the simple, your diameter is 15. So diameter, you would divide that by 2 to get the radius, which would be 7.5. And then the complex, you would have 2 pi r also. And r, the radius is 30, right? So I can just plug in that 30. So if I go ahead and do this, so 7.5 times 2, which gives you 15 pi. Okay, and then over here, this would be 2 times 30, so you get 60 pi. And it's asking how much greater is this one to this one. They're both in kilometers. So how many 15 pi's go into 60 pi? So let's go ahead and do 60 pi divided by 15 pi. The pi divided by pi cancel out, so 60 divided by 15 gives you 4. So it's 4 times greater is your answer. Alright, that is 8.1.